15 things dogs love more than anything. Number 7 will surprise you. You think you know your dog, don't you? You've lived together for years, shared countless moments, and you're absolutely convinced you understand what makes that furry heart tick. But what if I told you that there's an entire universe of secret desires hidden behind those bright, loving eyes? What if everything you thought you knew about your dog's happiness was just scratching the surface? Here's a mind-blowing fact that will change how you see your four-legged companion forever. Recent scientific studies have revealed that dogs have more than 15 distinct love languages, emotional and physical needs so specific and powerful that they can literally alter your dog's brain chemistry in seconds. And here's the kicker. Most dog owners only recognize about 3 of them. But wait, it gets even more fascinating. One of these love languages is so unexpected, so contrary to what we've been told about dogs, that when you discover it later in this video, you'll never look at your pet's behavior the same way again. I'm talking about something that involves your dog's most sophisticated sense, something that happens every single day, yet remains completely invisible to most humans. If you enjoy fascinating insights like this and want to see more, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Why your scent is your dog's most precious treasure. Picture this. You come home after a long day and your dog goes absolutely wild with excitement, tail wagging like a helicopter blade, spinning in circles, maybe even a few happy barks thrown in for good measure. You probably think it's because they missed seeing you, right? Well, prepare to have your mind blown. Your dog isn't just excited to see you, they're intoxicated by you, literally. And it has nothing to do with your eyes, your voice, or even your familiar silhouette walking through that door. It's your scent that sends them into orbit, and the science behind this is absolutely incredible. Here's something that will blow your mind. Your dog can distinguish your unique odor from among millions of other scents. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. Their nose contains roughly 300 million scent receptors compared to our measly 6 million. But it's not just about quantity, it's about the emotional connection these scents create. When your dog smells you, their brain releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals, including oxytocin, the same hormone released when humans fall in love. Your scent literally makes your dog feel like they're experiencing love at first smell, every single time. This is why they bury their face in your dirty laundry when you're not around, why they steal your socks, and why leaving a worn t-shirt with them when you travel can reduce their anxiety by up to 40%. There's an incredible true story about a German shepherd named Max, who was separated from his owner during a natural disaster. 2 years later, in a crowded evacuation center with hundreds of people, Max found his owner not by sight, not by sound, but by following his nose through that maze of human scents. 2 years, and that dog's love for his owner's unique smell never faded. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Your dog doesn't just love your scent, they've memorized the emotional map of your daily smell changes. They know what you smell like when you're happy, stressed, excited, or even when you're getting sick. Some dogs can detect illness in their owners up to 24 hours before symptoms appear, just through scent alone. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you even more than your dog's supernatural nose powers. You know how your dog seems to have an internal clock? How they know exactly when it's time for walks, meals, or when you're about to come home from work. The secret psychology behind your dog's daily rituals. This isn't just about habit, it's about emotional security. Dogs are creatures of routine because predictability equals safety in their minds. But it goes deeper than that. These daily rituals you share aren't just activities to your dog, they're love ceremonies. That morning routine where your dog follows you from room to room while you get ready, they're not being clingy. They're participating in what canine behaviorists call pack bonding rituals. Every step of your morning routine that includes them reinforces their sense of belonging and security. Research has shown that dogs who have consistent daily routines with their owners show 60% less anxiety-related behaviors and live longer, healthier lives. But here's the fascinating part. It's not just about having a routine, it's about having a routine that includes meaningful interaction with you. When you pour your coffee and your dog sits patiently waiting for their morning treat, when you grab their leash and they do that excited little dance when you say bedtime and they trot to their favorite spot. These aren't just trained behaviors. These are emotional anchors that make your dog feel safe, loved, and essential to your daily life. Breaking these routines suddenly can actually cause mild depression in dogs. Their stress hormone levels spike, and they can exhibit behaviors that seem completely random to us, like destructive chewing or excessive barking, when really, they're just trying to cope with the anxiety of unpredictability. But there's something your dog craves even more than the comfort of routine. Something so primal and powerful that it connects them to their wild ancestors while satisfying their most sophisticated modern needs. And when you understand what this is, everything about your dog's behavior will suddenly make perfect sense. Actually, scratch that. What I'm about to reveal will probably make you question everything you thought you knew about dog intelligence. Because what your dog experiences every single day through their most powerful sense isn't just about survival or comfort. It's about experiencing the world in a way that's so rich, so complex, that it makes our human perception seem almost primitive by comparison. How your dog's brain creates pure joy. Speaking of that incredibly sophisticated sensory world your dog lives in, what if I told you that recent breakthroughs in canine neuroscience have completely revolutionized how we understand dog happiness? We're not just talking about tail wags and treats anymore. We're talking about actual brain chemistry, neural pathways, and cognitive processes that are far more complex than most people ever imagined. You see, your dog's brain is constantly producing and regulating neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, the same chemicals that control human emotions. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. Dogs have evolved specific neural pathways that activate these feel-good chemicals in response to activities that most owners completely overlook. Let me ask you something, and I want you to comment below with your answer, because I read and respond to every single comment. When was the last time you gave your dog a real mental challenge? Not just a walk or a game of fetch, but something that actually made them think, problem solve, and use their intelligence. Because what I'm about to share will explain why some dogs seem restless and anxious, even when they're getting plenty of physical exercise, plenty of food, and plenty of attention. The answer lies in their desperate need for cognitive stimulation. The hidden genius. Living in your living room. Your dog is basically a furry Einstein, trapped in a world designed for toddlers. Think about it. Most dog toys are designed to be chewed, squeaked, or fetched, but your dog's brain is capable of so much more. Recent studies using MRI scans on dogs have shown that when they solve puzzles or learn new tasks, their brains light up with activity in the same regions associated with joy and satisfaction in humans. Here's a fascinating experiment you can try right now. Hide treats around your house and let your dog find them using only their nose. Watch what happens. You'll see their entire body language change. Ears perked, focused intensity, methodical searching patterns. This isn't just play. This is your dog accessing their natural intelligence and experiencing the neurochemical reward of problem solving. Dogs who regularly engage in mental challenges show dramatically lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and higher levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which essentially means their brains stay younger and more flexible as they age. It's like mental yoga for dogs, and the benefits are absolutely incredible. But mental stimulation is just one piece of the puzzle. Your dog also has deeply ingrained social needs that go far beyond their relationship with you. The complex social world your dog navigates daily. Here's something that might surprise you. Dogs have 27 distinct facial expressions that they use specifically to communicate with other dogs. 27. They have a more sophisticated facial communication system than most primates. When your dog meets another dog at the park, there's an entire conversation happening through micro-expressions, ear positions, tail angles, and body postures that's completely invisible to human eyes. Recent research has revealed that dogs who have regular, positive social interactions with other dogs show increased production of oxytocin, not just during the interaction, but for hours afterward. It's like they're carrying the happiness from that social connection with them throughout the day. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some dogs actually prefer human social interaction to canine social interaction, and this preference is written in their DNA. Certain breeds have been selectively bred for thousands of generations to bond more strongly with humans than with other dogs. If your dog seems indifferent to other dogs but obsessed with people, they're not antisocial. They're just following their genetic programming. Now, are you ready for number 7? The one I promised would surprise you. Because what I'm about to reveal has only been discovered in the last few years, and it's going to completely change how you think about your dog's emotional needs. The revolutionary discovery about canine music. Preferences. Your dog has musical preferences, not just tolerance for sounds, actual measurable preferences for specific types of music that can alter their mood, reduce anxiety, and even improve their health. Scientists at the Scottish SPCA conducted groundbreaking research exposing dogs to different musical genres while monitoring their heart rates, cortisol levels, and behaviors. The results were absolutely stunning. Classical music lowered heart rates and promoted relaxation. Reggae and soft rock had similar calming effects, but heavy metal and pop music actually increased stress indicators. But it gets even more incredible. Dogs respond to frequencies that humans can barely perceive. There are now specially composed pieces of music designed specifically for canine ears, incorporating frequency ranges and rhythmic patterns that trigger relaxation responses in dogs. Some veterinary clinics are now using these dog playlists during procedures to reduce anxiety without medication. Think about this. Your dog experiences music not just as sound, but as an emotional and physiological experience. They have soundtracks that make them happy, calm, or energized. When you leave classical music playing while you're away, you're not just providing background noise, you're actually medicating your dog's emotional state through sound. But there's something even deeper that your dog craves, something so fundamental to their psychological well-being that without it, no amount of food, toys, or even love can truly satisfy them. It's connected to a primal need that dates back thousands of years. And when you understand what it is, you'll finally comprehend why your dog sometimes exhibits behaviors that seem completely mysterious or even irrational. The 15,000-year-old secret still living in your dog. You know those mysterious behaviors that sometimes seem completely irrational? The way your dog suddenly becomes obsessed with a corner of the yard, or how they patrol the house like they're guarding a fortress, or why they get that intense, focused look when a squirrel dares to cross their visual territory. Here's the truth that will blow your mind. Your modern pampered house dog is still operating on programming that was written 15,000 years ago when the first wolves cautiously approached those flickering human campfires. Every single day, ancient instincts surge through your dog's brain with the same intensity their wild ancestors felt when survival depended on these behaviors. And understanding these primal drives isn't just fascinating, it's the key to unlocking a level of happiness in your dog that most owners never even know exists. Because when you satisfy these deep ancestral needs, you're not just making your dog content, you're allowing them to feel completely, authentically fulfilled at the most fundamental level. Let me share something that will change how you see your dog's entire worldview. Your home is actually your dog's kingdom. Every morning when your dog does that little patrol around the house, checking windows, sniffing doors, maybe letting out a few protective barks at absolutely nothing you can detect, they're not being paranoid or bored. They're fulfilling one of their most sacred responsibilities, protecting their pack. In your dog's mind, your family isn't just a group of humans they live with. You're their pack, and your home is their territory. Recent studies using GPS tracking and behavioral analysis have shown that dogs create incredibly sophisticated mental maps of their territory, complete with threat assessment zones, safe spaces, and patrol routes. Here's what's absolutely incredible. Your dog knows the difference between normal sounds and potential threats with an accuracy that would make professional security systems jealous. That seemingly random barking. Your dog has detected a sound pattern, frequency, or timing that doesn't match their learned database of safe environmental noise. When your dog positions themselves between you and a stranger, or when they insist on sleeping in a spot where they can see both you and the main entrance, they're not being clingy. They're being professional bodyguards operating on 15,000 years of refined protective instincts. But satisfying this need isn't about encouraging aggression or dominance. It's about giving your dog appropriate ways to feel useful and protective, Let them check the perimeter during walks. Acknowledge their alerts with a calm, "Thank you, I see it too," before redirecting their attention. This validates their protective instincts while maintaining your leadership. Comment below and tell me, does your dog have a favorite guard post in your house? I'd love to hear about their unique protective behaviors because every dog expresses this instinct differently. The hunter that lives inside every breed. Here's something that might shock you. That fluffy little Pomeranian has the same predatory drive as a wolf. That gentle golden retriever carries hunting instincts that are absolutely identical to their wild cousins. Size, breed, and generations of domestication haven't erased these drives, they've just redirected them. Watch your dog with a squeaky toy, and you're witnessing a perfectly choreographed hunting sequence. The stalk, the pounce, the grab, the shake. That's not play, that's your dog's brain running through ancient programming with deadly precision. And here's the fascinating part. When dogs engage in these mock hunting behaviors, their brains release the same neurochemical rewards their ancestors got from successful hunts. This is why fetch isn't just exercise for your dog, it's therapy. Every throw satisfies their chase instinct. Every retrieval fulfills their bringing prey back to the pack programming. Dogs who don't get adequate opportunities to express these hunting behaviors often develop what behaviorists call displacement activities. Repetitive behaviors like excessive licking, spinning, or destructive chewing. But there's an even more sophisticated instinct at work in your dog, something that makes them unique among all animals on Earth. The evolutionary miracle of human-dog communication. Your dog is the only animal that has evolved specifically to communicate with humans. Not just to coexist with us, not just to work alongside us, but to actually read our faces, interpret our emotions, and respond to our social cues with startling accuracy. Scientists have discovered that dogs process human facial expressions in the same region of their brain that humans use to process faces. When you smile at your dog, their brain literally lights up in response. When you're sad, they don't just notice. They feel compelled to comfort you because their neural pathways have been shaped by thousands of generations of dogs who succeeded by understanding human emotions. This is why your dog seems to know exactly when you need comfort, why they appear at your side during difficult moments, and why they can sense your mood changes before you're even fully aware of them yourself. They're not just intuitive, they're evolutionarily designed to be your emotional partner. But here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. Your dog doesn't just read your emotions, they're constantly trying to communicate their own complex thoughts and feelings to you, using a sophisticated system of signals that most humans never learn to recognize. The secret language your dog speaks every day. Every single interaction with your dog involves dozens of subtle communication attempts that fly completely under your radar. The angle of their ears, the position of their tail, the way they shift their weight, even the rhythm of their breathing. It's all communication. But the most powerful sensory experience for your dog isn't what they see or hear, it's what they smell, touch, and explore through their incredibly sophisticated sensory systems. And this brings us to something absolutely crucial that determines whether your dog lives a good life or an extraordinary one. Because there are three final elements of canine happiness that are so fundamental, so powerful, that they can literally transform a dog's entire quality of life. And one of these is so simple that you can implement it today, yet so revolutionary that it will change everything about how your dog experiences the world. But to understand why these final three elements are so crucial, you need to know about the hidden sensory universe your dog lives in every single moment. The final three secrets that change everything. We've reached the moment you've been waiting for. After exploring scent memories, musical preferences, ancient instincts, and complex communication systems, we're finally at the three most powerful elements of canine happiness. These aren't just nice-to-haves, these are the fundamental pillars that determine whether your dog lives a merely comfortable life or experiences the kind of deep, soul-level fulfillment that transforms their entire existence. And here's what makes this so urgent. Millions of dogs around the world live their entire lives without ever experiencing these three essential elements. They have food, shelter, medical care, even love, but they're missing the deeper psychological foundations that create true canine joy. But that doesn't have to be your dog's story. Let me tell you about the transformation that's possible when you understand and implement these final 3 principles. The foundation of everything: unshakable trust. The first pillar is something that goes far deeper than basic training or obedience. It's about creating an environment of absolute emotional safety. Your dog needs to know with every fiber of their being that you are completely predictable, entirely trustworthy, and utterly reliable in your responses to them. Here's what most people don't understand. Dogs evaluate trust differently than humans do. They don't care about your intentions or your explanations. They care about consistency. Every interaction teaches your dog whether you're someone they can depend on completely or someone who might surprise them unpredictably. When you promise a walk and deliver it, when you respond to their communication attempts with attention and understanding, when you remain calm and confident during stressful situations, you're making deposits into their emotional security account. Dogs with high trust levels show measurably lower stress hormones, better immune function, and longer lifespans. But here's the revolutionary part. Trust isn't just about reliability. It's about emotional attunement. Can your dog predict your reactions? Do they feel safe expressing their natural behaviors around you? When they bring you their favorite toy, approach you for comfort, or even make mistakes, do they know they'll be met with patience and understanding? Dogs who live with unshakable trust don't just behave better, they become more confident, more adventurous, and more emotionally resilient. They're free to be authentically themselves because they know their relationship with you is unconditionally secure. The spark of life, controlled adventures and discovery. The second pillar addresses something crucial that most dogs desperately lack: novelty and mental stimulation through safe exploration. Your dog's brain craves new experiences with the same intensity that their body craves food and water. Every new smell, texture, environment, and challenge creates fresh neural pathways that keep your dog's mind young and engaged. But here's the key: it's not about overwhelming them with chaos. It's about providing controlled exposure to new experiences that expand their world while maintaining their sense of security. This could be as simple as taking a different route on your daily walk, introducing new textures for them to explore, hiding treats in novel locations, or allowing them to investigate new, safe objects. Dogs who regularly experience controlled novelty show increased problem-solving abilities, reduced anxiety, and what researchers call cognitive resilience, the ability to adapt to change with confidence rather than stress. But perhaps most importantly, these new experiences should be shared with you. Dogs don't just want to explore, they want to explore with their trusted companion, turning discovery into bonding and adventure into connection. Comment below and tell me about the most recent new experience you shared with your dog. I read every comment and I'd love to celebrate these moments with you. The ultimate truth: love that flows both ways. And now we reach the final pillar, the one that ties everything together: genuine reciprocal emotional connection. This goes beyond providing care or even showing affection. It's about recognizing your dog as an individual with their own personality, preferences, and emotional needs, and responding to them as such. When you interact with your dog, are you fully present? Do you notice their subtle communications? Do you respond to their attempts to connect with you? When your dog approaches you for attention, brings you a toy, or simply sits beside you, they're offering their version of love. And your response either validates or dismisses that offering. Recent studies measuring oxytocin levels in both dogs and their owners have shown that dogs who feel truly seen and appreciated by their humans don't just show increased happiness, they show increased emotional intelligence. They become more attuned to your needs, more responsive to your emotions, and more capable of providing comfort when you need it most. This creates what scientists call a positive feedback loop of attachment. The more genuine love you give, the more your dog becomes capable of giving back, which deepens your bond, which increases both of your capacities for joy. Your dog's extraordinary life starts now. Here's the beautiful truth: your dog doesn't need all 15 of these elements to be happy, but they deserve the chance to experience as many as possible. Every single one represents an opportunity to enrich their life in ways that go far beyond basic care. Pick 3 elements from everything we've explored today. Maybe it's leaving your scent on their bedding, creating a daily adventure routine, or simply being more present during your interactions. Try them this week and watch what happens. Share your experiences in the comments below. I want to hear about the changes you notice, the new behaviors you discover, and the deeper connection you build. Your stories inspire other dog owners and help create a community of people committed to giving their dogs truly extraordinary lives. Remember, being a dog owner isn't just about responsibility. It's about recognizing that you hold the power to create daily joy for a being who dedicates every moment of their existence to loving you unconditionally. They deserve nothing less than your most thoughtful, intentional love in return. And if this video opened your eyes to new possibilities for your dog's happiness, make sure to subscribe for more insights that will transform how you understand and care for your 4-legged family member.